Good afternoon and welcome to Boston Asian Radio and TV English Daily News today. I am your host, Lei. Here's a look at the top stories making headlines today. China drops COVID P.C.R. test rule for inbound travelers. Ex-Harvard professor Charles Lieber sentenced, fined for lying about China ties. Nearly 30,000 drunken driving cases in Massachusetts in jeopardy over faulty breathalyzer tests. City Councilor Ed Flynn thinks Boston should do more to win the war on rats. Milford, Massachusetts, middle school evacuated after pepper spray used in building. China drops COVID P.C.R. test rule for inbound travelers. China said on Tuesday that it would no longer require travelers entering the country to show a negative P.C.R. test for the coronavirus, another step toward reopening after a long period of pandemic-era isolation. But it was not clear whether testing requirements would be abolished altogether. A spokeswoman for China's foreign ministry said only that, beginning on Saturday, people going to China can take an antigen test to replace the previously mandated PCR test within 48 hours before boarding their flight. Airlines will not check test results before boarding, the spokeswoman, Mao Ning, added at a regularly scheduled news briefing. She did not say whether others, such as immigration officials, would check. Notices by Chinese embassies overseas said that travelers arriving in China would still need to fill out a health declaration form, and that customs officials would conduct unspecified spot checks. Ex-Harvard professor Charles Lieber sentenced, fined for lying about China ties. A former Harvard University professor convicted of lying to federal investigators about his ties to a Chinese-run science recruitment program and failing to pay taxes on payments from a Chinese university was sentenced Wednesday to supervised release and ordered to pay more than $83,000 in restitution and fines. Charles Lieber, 64, the former chair of Harvard's Department of Chemistry and Chemical Biology, was convicted in December 2021 of 2 counts of filing false tax returns, 2 counts of making false statements, and 2 counts of failing to file reports for a foreign bank account in China. Lieber was sentenced to time served the 2 days he spent in jail after his arrest, 2 years of supervised release, the first 6 months in home confinement, a $50,000 fine, and $33,600 in restitution to the IRS, which has already been paid. Nearly 30,000 drunken driving cases in Mass, in jeopardy over faulty breathalyzer tests. After a complaint filed was received and sworn into the Salem District Court in October 2013, it was determined that Alcotest 9510 breathalyzer devices were faulty because they weren't being routinely calibrated after use. In the ruling, the SJC said that about 27,000 defendants who pleaded guilty to, or who were convicted after trial of operating under the influence in cases involving the faulty tests between June 1, 2011, and April 18, 2019, are entitled to a conclusive presumption of egregious government misconduct. The SJC said in its ruling that the egregious behavior by the Massachusetts State Police's Office of Alcohol Testing has resulted in the violation of the right to due process. The defendants are now entitled to proceed with motions to withdraw their guilty pleas and ask for new trials. City Councilor Ed Flynn thinks Boston should do more to win the war on rats. Boston is looking to do more to keep its furriest foes in check, with city councilors voicing overwhelming support Wednesday for the creation of a new municipal department devoted to fighting the city's rats. It's an important quality of life issue. It has an impact on almost every neighborhood in the city, said City Council President Ed Flynn. The Inspectional Services Department, Public Works, and the Water and Sewer Commission handle Boston's pest management, Flynn said. He believed a dedicated job and office would streamline Boston's rodent-fighting efforts and allow the city to try new approaches. Flynn said he hopes to visit New York City soon to speak with officials there and hear how their pest control efforts are coming along. New York recently tapped a director of rodent mitigation to take the lead in addressing the city's rat problem. Milford, Massachusetts, middle school evacuated after pepper spray used in building. A Milford, Massachusetts middle school was evacuated Wednesday afternoon. A student sprayed pepper spray inside the lobby of the building, the school district said. The incident happened at Stacy Middle School and prompted the Milford police, fire, and hazmat crews to respond to the school. The district said the school was evacuated as a precautionary measure. First responders set up a triage area outside the school. They assessed as many as 40 students. 10 students and 1 staff members who were in the area that was sprayed with pepper spray were brought to the hospital for precautionary measures and to be evaluated, Milford Public Schools said in a statement posted to social media. Tuzino said police are speaking with the 7th grader who sprayed the lobby. School officials said that student will face serious consequences pending an investigation. Stay tuned for more updates on Boston news as it develops.